Hello, students, and welcome to another lesson using Autodesk Inventor Professional 2022. It's on the server. I just opened this software using the link you've already been provided. I'm going to click Start Working, and I'm going to close this interior window here by clicking this red X, which will allow me to get to this gray screen. Now, I bear in mind that the ID Companion is a 3x2 piece of plastic with a logo of your choosing on it, and maybe your name or your phone number. Create new, standard IPT, create. See the software loading. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on the XY plane. First thing I'll do is create a rectangle. And I'll lock it in, select the dimension tool, and click enter 3 for the height. And then I'm going to select across the bottom and change that to 2, and then click the check to create the final ID card size. I can finish sketch at this point, and I can extrude it, and I'll change the distance to 0.125. Enter, and so far so good. In order to make round corners, you can always use the Fillet Tool. So I click the Fillet Tool, the Fillet, and I select these corners, and you can always adjust the size here, maybe to 0.25, depending on how much roundness you prefer. This thing is very sensitive. Again, select, okay. And now I'm going to start a 2D sketch. I'm going to create the opening where your lanyard can be hooked. There is, under the circle tool, the ellipse tool. And I believe you should be able to select an ellipse and stretch it. And you can always use the dimension tool from the center to the edge. Bring it up here. That should be 1 so that it's centered. Enter that. And maybe I can just move it up. So I can hit escape and then grab the center and move it up. There we go. And then finish sketch, extrude. And in this case, you can see I will cut. Okay, now I've created an opening where your lanyard hook can go. Now I'm going to place a decal on the top of this ID and then use it as a reference to trace my shapes. So I can select File, start a 2D sketch, select Image from the upper ribbon on the right. And remember, I can navigate to my remote user, G drive, pandemic documents. And here I'll be searching for, actually I can go up 1 level. See what this is. There's my image. So I can grab this corner, rotate it around, scale it down, move it into position. And I'm looking to place it right. Finish sketch, select decal, select it. The image, select my face, and select OK. And there, I've added a decal to my ID. Now I can start a 2D sketch, click on the surface of my ID, and begin to draw the shapes. I'm going to make them a little wider. And I'll introduce you to under the line tool is the spline tool. So with the spline tool, you can create more aesthetically pleasing I believe I can use the line tool here and across. I can use the arc tool to connect this and this. And then I have a feeling that might work, so I can finish sketch and extrude the shape. And I will extrude at 0.125. Actually, I'm going to extrude it only 0.5, 0.05. Thank you very much. Click OK. You're going to need to know your decimals. And now I'm going to continue with I'll use the spline tool. And we'll just I will finish sketch, and this will be pulled. I will extrude it more, say 0.1. Each layer will be a little more than the previous layer. Now I'm going to draw the face by starting a 2D sketch on the surface of my ID. Again, using the spline tool. I will start here. And I will also create the opening for the eye. Okay, at this point, I can finish sketch, extrude, pull it out, 0.15. See, each layer is farther than the last. We can also do a small ear. Zoom in close if you so choose. There's sketch, extrude. This will be 0.12. Okay. Can move to the hair, start a 2D sketch. Go back to the line tool. Sketch, extrude, pull this out. 0.25. Let's make it 0.2 only. Okay. And now I'll put the final touch on, start a 2D sketch. Click here. Select the circle tool. Finish the sketch. And extrude just the inner circle there. How about 0.15, 1.25, 1/8 of an inch. If you so choose, you can right-click on the decal and delete it. And there you have your ID. You can select the entire object with a marquee. You can put on a glossy black material. You can change the view to perspective. You can change the visual style to realistics. You can add all shadows and reflections. Ground plane, ray trace it. Let's see what happens. Ugh. Now let's save our file, save as. Remote user, G drive, call it ID Companion, IPT, don't save it in any folder. Return to the perspective view, visual style, realistic. Select file, export image, PNG, ID Companion PNG, save. And now let's return to the drive. And as you can see, that's the image you'll want to turn in for assignment credit. Good luck.